What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Quick reminder to play Boltstorm Full Clip Edition and Yakuza Kiwami, both offered for free on PlayStation Plus. Download those, play those, come back at the end of the month for Plus Club. We'll tell you our experiences with those games. Let us know yours. And our game of the month randomly picked is Project Zomboid, which is a top-down zombie survival game. Played that, come back at the end of the month for game of the month. Let us know what we thought of that game. We'll talk about what we thought of it. Also, we have a Discord down below, link down below. Talk to us anytime, all the time. And we are on Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast platforms if you'd prefer to listen to us. And if you want to watch us on YouTube, check us out at Tasty Loot Gaming. So within the fucking sea of Black Friday deals, we were able to find two things worth talking about. But first off, I would like to say for the channel, I'd like to say rest in peace to Stan Lee, the man, the myth, the legend. He has affected the world for the best, in the best way possible, and he will be dearly missed, but his legacy will live on forever. So rest in peace, Stan Lee and Excelsior. So yeah, with that, let's get into the first bit of news.
So Square recently had a series of announcements, but this will be specifically around Final Fantasy 15. So I've lost his name. How fun. Hajime Tabata has stepped down and resigned essentially from Square Enix. He originally founded and was in charge of Luminous, which was a studio under Square Enix that was in charge of making the Final Fantasy 15 DLCs. And originally with Square, he made and directed Final Fantasy 15. His reasoning for this is he has a project he wants to work on, and he believes that he can't do it unless he goes and makes his own company. So he's going to go do that. And he also wanted to say that he honestly believes that the reason they were able to get this far with Final Fantasy 15 is because of loyal fans, and he thanks us from the bottom of his heart. So
you're welcome.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
I bought the game.
Square has also announced because of him stepping down, there was originally 4 more DLCs coming out for Final Fantasy 15. 3 of 4 of those will no longer be coming out. The only one that will be coming out is Arden, which will come out in March 2019. Because of the 3 DLCs being canceled, they are expected to lose on $33 million in the company because of it. So that is all the information surrounding him. Some random Final Fantasy 15 stuff thrown there real quick. The Comrades DLC will be going as a standalone for $9.99 if you do not already own it and you want to buy it by itself. That is the multiplayer DLC for Final Fantasy 15. If you do already own it, you'll just have a standalone version of it instead, and it will add new content to the game when that happens. And there is a Final Fantasy 14 crossover event happening in 15 called Adventure from Another World, which will come out December 12th. What do we think about all this?
So he's leaving to make his own studio or whatever. Was it? Mm-hmm. It is that Luminous one?
No, that was the Square company he founded.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, we kind of touched on this a little bit on TastyCast. Make sure to go watch that if you missed that. But I thought it'd be important to actually go through the details of this. It overall sucks. It's easy just to say that. But there's a little bit of nuance to this. So obviously, I have to respect his want to go do his own thing. Sure. I respect any creator of anything to, if they're feeling less inspired in what they're doing, you got to find an outlet for that. So 100% respect that. It sucks the impact it's left on Square Enix and the fan base, though. And it will be recovered. I don't think this is something that Square Enix is going to be fucked from. It's just kind of a shitty situation that happened. I think the biggest impact here is the people who played through Final Fantasy 15, played all the DLCs that have already been released, and were told they were getting DLCs. I think that's the important thing to mention here. Are not getting that content. It's essentially the same as if you were told a game is coming out, like that Platinum Games game for Xbox, and they cancel it. It's a very disappointing thing. So I get that too. There are some people who are pretty angry about this, and I get where they're coming from. I think it's slightly unfair, but I get it because you're disappointed, and it's completely valid. But at the same time, I don't think Square really planned to cancel these things. And it does suck that they decided to do that. But it's understandable. So overall, the whole situation sucks. The only thing positive out of this I can really see is that you are still getting one of the 4. So at least there is something coming at all. And hopefully whatever made him want to go and make his own studio, I will be curious to see what he does in the future. Because I like what they did with Final Fantasy 15. I don't know how the general response to the game has been. Seems like it's pretty good. I liked it. So see what he does next as a director of a new company will be very interesting. But they'll recover from this, and we have big things coming from Square Enix in the future still. So just a small speed bump. But they'll make up that 33 million and hopefully make up for those DLCs that are lost.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said a lot of what I'd say myself. I just reemphasize a couple things. I mean, 33 million is a huge chunk, but you also have to realize the size of the company as well.
It's a huge chunk for me.
They do say extraordinary loss, but a lot of this, I don't know if this was actually money that was spent yet or projected earnings.
I think it's that.
So it's
probably the money that they were assuming they were going to make off the DLCs.
Yeah. Now, the good news is the company he opened, Luminous, is not closing down, and they are going to start work on a new IP. So
they're making a new IP.
Well, a new game, it said, I believe.
Okay.
This is very specific.
Let's say new IP would be interesting.
But there's no information on that yet, obviously, since this is very fresh. So those people get to keep their jobs, and they still have a second company within Square making games now, which is cool. I am curious to see if they're going to bump up someone as a new director for the company, or they're going to hire someone in, or if I'm blanking on his name, but the guy who's in charge of Kingdom Hearts right now is going to step in when Kingdom Hearts is done. So that'll be interesting to see in the future as well.
Well, he's going to work on Final Fantasy 7, right?
The remake, yep.
Yeah.
And then as far as like him doing, obviously what he feels he needs to do, I think you said it perfectly. There's complications when you work for a big company. And we saw that with Kojima when he finally did come out and talk about it. There's a lot of red tape and paperwork and meetings and meetings and meetings.
When you see a lot of people do it, especially nowadays, because you can start up a company pretty. I mean, it sucks at the beginning, but like a lot of people are able to, with their connections in the industry, start up something, whether it be, I mean, even Lionhead Studio guy. He was like one of the first people I saw start doing that. He went and made whatever Can Studios for what the fuck they made Goddess or whatever.
Right.
I'm forgetting names right now. I just got off work, but yeah, he did that. Kojima did that. Cliffy B did it. Not to his success, which is kind of sad to see, but he'll be fine. So yeah, there's a lot of examples.
It is, and I think a lot of these people, they started doing this because obviously they were passionate about it, but the artistic passion becomes a chore, I think, when a company gets too big, because then instead of it being something, not that necessarily don't want to do it, but they probably have ideas, and because they have to ask permission constantly, I'm sure it becomes exhausting.
Well, and they're working for somebody. So it's like when you are a director, the producer, it's actually their movie. You're directing it, and your vision, most of the fans will always assume it's your movie. That's where I stand too. But technically, you're essentially, you have somebody, you need a house built. You hire someone to build the house. They don't do what they want. They do what you want. If they want to, get paid. Same thing with being a director to anything, a game, a movie, blah, blah, blah.
Someone's paying for it.
The higher your reputation and prowess, you get more creative control, obviously. So yeah, it could be that they wanted him to make these DLCs, and he already, hit the last DLCs, and maybe he's tired of 15.
How many years making 15?
Yeah, maybe he's just kind of tired of 15. Maybe they wanted more DLCs after this in the down the pipeline. And maybe he's just like, I love this game. I'm glad that the fans love it, but I can't keep doing this. And I can completely understand that.
Yeah.
I think most people with any sense of creativity or the idea of wanting to make something can understand that.
For sure. And that's exactly it. Like, he's doing what he has to do, and any person, especially, if you've worked a job for a long time and you've ever thought about leaving, it's the same idea, So, so I wish him luck in his new adventures. And I'm excited to see what he's got going on. I'm excited to see what Luminous comes up with as well. That'll be really cool. And I'm also excited that they're taking the approach with the multiplayer DLC to make it a standalone thing for people to play, because not everyone who plays Final Fantasy is necessarily looking for a multiplayer experience.
Well, and some people who like co-op and multiplayer experiences might not want to play a Final Fantasy.
Exactly. So I think it's really smart.
It's $10,
and it's going to be $10.
Cheap as fuck.
So pretty cool. And then the crossover stuff's pretty common within Square properties, and it's always fun, I think. So
yeah, no, it's cool they're doing that. They do that a lot with 14. So last one they did was Monster Hunter, which is pretty cool.
Which is cool.
Yeah. So do you know what they're doing with this? Have they said anything on it yet?
I think they did, but it's in a separate news article.
He's going to be wearing Noctis's outfit or something?
So if I remember right, and I
car?
didn't read it or watch it, so I'm not going to have like information here, but it looked like I saw a Makote or the cat people show up in the 15 world, and then they have their own storyline that happens.
Creepy.
So,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'll be December 12th. So
is there enough content in that game to merit playing it?
15?
No, I assume that's a full game. The Comrades thing.
I played it when it was in beta still, and a little bit on release, and it seemed pretty cool, but I didn't play it enough to really tell you a good answer for that.
It'd be kind of cool to play a game cooperatively with somebody. So.
The reason I wasn't playing it is because I was playing it by myself. So
I might go download it. Yeah. So overall, kind of shitty situation, but I think things will get better in every direction after this. So
yeah, I mean, really, the only thing that's hurting is those DLCs, I think.
Yep. And the fans.
I don't think Square's gonna. This isn't the same as when Final Fantasy 14 failed.
For sure. No. It's not detrimental, but I think the biggest impact is fan trust.
For sure.
And it's not going to deeply wound people, but people are definitely going to be disappointed that they're not getting that.
Yeah.
And they were told, they should have kept their mouth shut with that.
It's hard to point the finger at anyone.
Oh, I'm not saying any individual person. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I would say it's a series of events that a chain reaction happened. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Let us know in the comments. What do you think about Square Enix canceling those DLCs? You're still getting one of them. I believe it's Arden. What do you think about director Hajime Tabata leaving and doing his own thing? And what do you think about that $33 million loss? Do you think it's a big deal? Do you think it's the drop in the fucking bucket? Let us know everything you're thinking about when it comes to this topic. And our last topic, this is going to be a short episode for once. I'm sure you guys have all seen it and are all very much aware, but there is a Pokemon Detective Pikachu movie that has been being developed for a while, and the trailer has finally dropped. I believe Ryan Reynolds is playing Pikachu.
The furry bastard.
Which is weird to say. I saw a meme, or it wasn't even a meme, it was just someone like you guys hear that Deadpool's playing Pikachu? I like how he's not even Ryan Reynolds anymore.
Well, that's a little insulting.
Yeah. I was like, he made such an impact as Deadpool. The people was like, oh, it's Deadpool. So yeah, we're going to watch this, react to it, talk about it.
I'm sure most people have seen it already, seeing that it's #1 on trending here.
It's #1 on trending. I've already seen pictures. I've seen a little bit of Jigglypuff. There was a whole thing where people were like pissed. And other people were like, why are they pissed? And some people were loving it. But then other people were thinking that Jigglypuff's hair was flesh. And people were grossed out and angry about that. And people were like, why the fuck do you think that's flesh? It's been this whole thing.
I missed all that, apparently.
Yeah, I've been reading up on it. Because it is kind of... The whole thing, everything I've seen so far has been kind of weird because it's live action. So they're still... They look like they're part, but they're also trying to be like photorealistic in a world.
What, like Uncanny Valley type stuff? That you're talking about?
Not really. Just it's just weird to see them rendered in a realistic world. They're not as cartoony as they normally are. So yeah, I'll be interested to see this. And it's also worth mentioning too, it's been getting really good reception. Like everyone I've heard so far has been saying this looks awesome.
Okay.
I hope it's not just because they love Pokemon and they're like, oh, I want Pokemon. And hopefully it actually is good. So we'll watch it. We will know. Anything else you want to say before we watch this?
No.
What do you think about this as a movie? Before we get into that, like, do you think like Detective Pikachu as like their live action movie? I think it's like such a weird pick.
I don't think I really have a strong thought process on what they are going to do with a movie in general, just because I'm so used to Nintendo being very anti, don't make movies of our stuff.
Stingy, dude.
Yeah,
and they don't want anyone to do shit with their stuff.
But in the game world, there's a bunch of weird Pokemon games. I mean, so it's not that out there for me, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's so bizarre. I don't think it's bad or good. I don't know yet, but it's such a weird pick. Especially when you think about like their voice acting Pikachu with Ryan Reynolds. It's just like such a fucking...
I think that's the weirdest part.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah. All right, ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Chris isn't here, so fucking let's go.
Welcome to Rhyme City, a celebration of the harmony between humans and Pokemon.
Side up.
I didn't actually. I was looking at the balloon behind the girl.
I saw the eyes.
Was a legend in this precinct. If you were anything like your dad,
I'm not.
Can I just say that it looks like it has a budget?
I remember.
It does, definitely.
You wanted to be a Pokemon trainer when you were young.
Yeah, that didn't really work out. Someone there? Whoever you are, I know how to use this.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
I know you can't understand me, but put down the stapler or I will electrocute you.
He looks pretty cute.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just talk?
Whoa. Did you just understand me?
Oh my God, you can understand me.
Stop.
I've been so lonely.
The truck talks to me all the time. All I hear is Pika Pika.
You can hear him, right?
Pika Pika! Yeah, Pika Pika Pika, he's adorable.
You're adorable. They can't understand me, kid.
Can no one else hear him? I don't need a Pokemon, period.
Then what about a world-class detective? Because if you want to find your pops, I'm your best bet.
We're gonna do this. You and me.
Why does that guy look familiar?
Damn.
There's magic that brought us together, and that magic is called hope. Listen up. We got ways to make you talk. Or mine.
Yeah.
So tell us what we want to know. Pipe. Yes. Okay. I can. Shoving. Pushing. I promise that I push people away and then hate them for leaving.
He's saying you can shove it.
What? I can shove it? Okay, that's it. No, we're switching roles. I'm bad cop. You're good cop.
No, we're not cops. Oh.
In my head, I saw that differently.
All right. I think they might have done it. I don't know. That actually looked pretty good.
I would say I think I'm sold.
Yeah, I did not expect. Everybody's been saying what we're saying, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm sure. Now I'm just like, I want to see that.
You know what I appreciate? Like it obviously takes place in Pokemon's world because you know they mentioned. I've already forgotten the city name, sadly, in the very beginning, but it looks like they were just trying to make a movie, and that's probably the most important part here.
Well, that's the thing is like it oddly doesn't feel gimmicky.
Yeah,
it feels like they're like, because even the trailer just starts out in an established Pokemon world. It's not some weird like, oh, in the real world, fucking Pokemon were brought through a portal or some dorky shit. It's just a world that exists with Pokemon in it,
right? And
it's already established that Pokemon talk like they're supposed to, and this kid is just an example, or like one person who can hear Pikachu talking, kind of like a Stewie from Family Guy type thing.
Was the fucking movie where the guy could Dr. Doolittle or something? No,
yeah.
So yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways, yeah.
But the thing that's interesting though is like, if they do this and they succeed, then they've established a cinematic universe with Pokemon that exist already in the way we expect it, outside of Ryan Reynolds talking to this particular person. So if they wanted to, if it works, this is such a safe way to start this up, because they could make more movies that are more traditional in Pokemon after this, in the same universe, and continue the Detective Pikachu thing. which is kind of like I just said before I watched this. It's fucking bizarre. Now I'm like, this makes so much sense.
Right.
It's really fucking weird that I just flip flopped. Anyway, talking about the trailer, I actually think it was a pretty good trailer. Surprisingly, like you were saying in the beginning of the trailer, it looks like it has a budget. It has like, you know, big sets. It's colorful. Looks really good. The CGI is better than I thought it would be. Fucking Mime, that Mr. Mime was fucking creepy.
Very.
Especially when he's sitting there.
I think the Jigglypuff was a lot creepier though.
Yeah, that was scary.
Little furry bastard.
It's just on the table, pissed. Psyduck was creepy. You didn't see in the beginning? Did you see at the end? When he's like, wow, yelling and it was like exploding?
No, apparently I can't see Psyducks.
Yeah, apparently not. Because like that chick was standing there and I just like looked over and I saw eyes like just like staring up and it was just him sitting there. And I was like, oh shit. And yeah, I like that they kept Pikachu's like normal voice when other people are hearing Pikachu. Because at first I was like, is he just going to talk to everybody? That's kind of like weird. It's kind of cool though. I think I would see this though. I'm sold, which is really fucking weird because I wasn't expecting to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I actually had like pretty much zero expectations for this movie, and was not on my radar whatsoever.
No.
And then even seeing, because it's impossible to avoid the thing in its entirety today.
Yeah.
Seeing some pictures of it, even then I was kind of like, whatever, you know. But the stills, I don't think do justice of watching it actually be animated.
Yeah, and there's definitely like a not atmosphere is not the right word, but there's a theme to it that feels more energetic than the fucking pictures would let on.
Yeah,
they just looked like stills of just like creepy, like because most of that movie seems like it's darker because it's like a detective thing.
Right.
So if you're looking at these dark pictures of a creepy Jigglypuff, you're like, what the fuck am I looking at here? Or Pikachu in like a neon dark area or whatever. It's like, what the fuck? But, you know, in motion, it makes a lot more sense.
Well, even seeing the still of Pikachu, I thought he looked a little creepy in the still. And then
I thought the same.
Moving, he looked adorable.
Yeah.
So
when he's on the ground going,
they did a good job.
And climbing up and shit, yeah. That was pretty dope.
I also really like that, you know, obviously he's meant to be a little fuzzy mouse and, you know, he's supposed to be cute. But then when they showed like Charizard would be a great example, he looked like a dragon, you know, and he looked really cool. And
it's really weird to see them because obviously
textured.
Exactly. Because in cartoons and 3D, like in games and stuff like that, they're still, you know, hard lined, solid colors, cartoony looking. But Pikachu having like fucking hair. Obviously, he does. He's a rodent, but you don't see that otherwise.
Right.
So it's interesting to see that. And at first, I was like, I don't know if I like that. But in motion, it looked fine. The movements are right. Charizard, again, I saw a picture of Charizard on Twitter, and I was like, that looks almost creepy. But in motion, it made sense. With the sound, it made sense. It's really interesting how much of a difference that's made. I think I was being probably, fucking knowing myself, a little too judgmental looking at it first, because I just expect when it comes to video game properties into movies, which how funny would it be if that was like one of the most well-received video game movies when it comes out?
I'm gonna be blown away if it's not, to be honest.
Yeah, because then people can shut the fuck up about video game movies.
Well, it's 100% accessible to all ages.
Yeah,
right. So
yeah, they're going for a fun vibe. It's not trying to be overly serious.
And guess what? Us adults, we grew up with Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
So there's a huge audience to entice to see this movie.
Mm-hmm. And Ryan Reynolds is like at the fucking peak of his goddamn,
which is so funny.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time, but
yeah,
Deadpool kind of sent him up.
Well, so we have that. We have the fact that people our age and their kids know what Pokemon are.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon.
Yeah, and they're gonna go to the theater and watch this. I mean,
Pokemon Go and the new fucking Pokemon's coming out. I mean, like it's
literally a series that just can't seem to die. And I don't mean
it got quiet for a long time too. But
it had a speed bump in Gen 5.
Yeah, and then it's back. Like it's huge again. I think everybody's into it still. So
and it's one of those things, because even like another good example of that, though not quite on the same level. Magic the Gathering is another one that'll like dip for a while, and then all of a sudden it boom.
Oh, it's big again, you know what I mean? Sure. Yeah.
So I think Pokemon's one of those things. It's just like watching the stock market. It goes up, it goes down, but it does not go away. So
yeah, it's funny how you mentioned that we grew up with it, because we did. I was in like middle school when I was fucking, I think like 6th grade, 5th grade, when I was getting into Pokemon. So I mean, it's been around for a long fucking time.
part of your life. So.
Yeah. That's crazy. I'm gonna be old and people are gonna be fucking playing Pokemon. Movie looks cool though. I can't even hesitate on saying that. I actually want to see that. So that's awesome. I'm glad, because I was worried. Anything else you want to say on that?
No, that's a pleasant
Let
surprise.
us know. What do you think about Pokemon Detective Pikachu? Do you also think it looks good? Do you have reservations? Did you look at it and you're like, dude, I don't know what the fuck everybody's excited about. This looks stupid as shit. Let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments when it comes to this movie. And do you think it's going to be the first across the board accepted video game movie that's done right? That'd be fucking crazy.
It would be crazy.
I think there's already been a couple that are pretty good. They have problems, a lot of movies do, but it'd be nice to just have one where everybody's just like, yeah, it's a good one, because it's bound to happen. I've been telling people that forever. It's bound to happen. That's going to do it for this episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check me out on Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all one word. Hit the notification button to know when I go live. I also, when I stream, dual stream. So if you're on YouTube, you're going to find me here as well when I stream live. We are on podcast platforms, iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us, and check us out on YouTube. If you'd like to watch us at Tasty Loot Gaming, we also have a Discord link down below if you'd like to talk to us anytime, all the time. And I do mean that. We're on there all the fucking time. But yeah, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Until the next episode, which should be this weekend at the very most, and maybe I'll put out an episode later this week. But until then, have a good week, guys, and take it easy.